Hi everyone, I'm here at the Bible study. I hope you're having a good night. So I do have a circle of kindness, so we'll start out with it. I know we haven't had one in a while. This one's by Allison Wilson Lee from Florida. This stranger made my wedding day extra special. 11 days before my wedding, my florist quit her job. Most of the floral arrangements I'd planned to use consisted of artificial flowers, but I desperately wanted a bouquet of real ones. I didn't know where to turn and had little time. Then a co-worker came to the rescue with an important connection. His neighbor worked with flowers and agreed to help provide a wedding bouquet for me. I don't know how she pulled it off, but this woman delivered a lovely pale blue bouquet to me on the morning of my wedding. Thanks to the colleague and to the woman I'd never met, I'd had the flowers I'd longed for on my special day. Wasn't that nice? Alright. Pale blue bouquet, it sounds so pretty. Let's see, the next one is by Angela Harlator from Florida as well. They help my students' dream come true. I am a teacher, and my students have been asking me for a while if they could dissect something as part of a science project. A few months ago, I wrote a proposal for a dissection lab project that required donations to be funded. 2 of my cousins donated, but the project still did not get fully funded. I hated to disappoint my students, so I decided to try submitting a proposal again. To my surprise, within 1 day, I received an email saying my project was fully funded. I'm overjoyed by the donations from my cousins and also all the other strangers who wanted to support my students. Thanks to their generosity, I will be able to make my students' requests come true. And the last one is by Susan Fox from New Jersey. Kindness is beautiful for both givers and receivers. 15 years ago, I started a charity that I do in the winter for poor children. It began with getting warm gloves for cold little hands, and through that kind donation of others, I was able to get several thousand pairs of gloves. I then expanded to hats and socks for these children too. It's been a beautiful experience for the givers and receivers. As human beings, we are wired for good. We just have to make sure we are always connecting with that by helping others when we can. So that's really nice. That's a nice thing to do. I know someone who knits and stuff and make their own bonnets, hats and stuff like that for the scarves and stuff for the kids at winter time. I'd love to be able to do that, but I don't know how to knit. It's over my head, I guess. I've tried. I couldn't figure it out. Mom can do it really good. She tried to teach me, but she's left-handed and I'm right-handed, and it just didn't work. Alright, let me get through prayer requests. Please keep the following people in prayer. Alicia Tinker's family. She passed away. She was only 35, the same age as my youngest sister. We knew her. She used to live here. She had MS. Please pray for Paris's family, Paris Jude, his family, and please pray for Paris and Alicia's souls as well. Paris, he used to live here as well. He used to be our neighbor, and he was a really nice person. He moved over to the other apartments when he got kicked out of here, and Sherm would see him often over there and talk to him. Please pray for Hannah Denny and Luke Bulbs. They are kids that are sick and need prayer. Sherman Crabtree, Rhonda Karshner, Cindy and Jim, Dora Parker, Layla and her son Emil, Jimmy Myers, Bonnie Jean, Bonnie Jean's dad, Bonnie Jean's sister-in-law Lori, and Bonnie Jean's cat Misty that she returns home, Ray and Donna Dunlap, Joyce Light, Elizabeth Jeffries and her grandson Dominic, Judy Thompson, and Abby and Liam. All right.
Good picture.
This? Think so? I tried to do it, but look at the belt and everything.
It still looks good.
I tried to draw Smokey the Bear in here, but it... Sherman said it looks good, but I don't think so. I was going to call her, just haven't got around to it yet. You like my Smokey? You're too kind, too kind. All right. So let's see what we got today. Oh, wow. We got a devotion by Grace Fox. And the Bible verse she picked out, John 16, verse 32. A time is coming, and in fact has come, when you will be scattered, each to your own home. You will leave me all alone, yet I am not alone, for my Father is with me. And that, of course, is Jesus speaking to his disciples when he's saying this. And they'll say, "No, Lord," like Peter did, "No, Lord, we'll die for you. We're not going anywhere." Jesus said this very night, "You will flee, you will scatter." And they did. Even though Peter followed at a distance after Jesus was arrested to see what was happening. And that's when Peter ended up also denying Jesus 3 times before the rooster crowed, just like Jesus said. But Jesus never stopped loving him, and they were still like this. Still brothers. Can you imagine Jesus knowing this stuff was going to happen? And how hurt he had to have been by it, you know? The disciples and Jesus were with each other day and night, every day. They were brothers. I'm not going to say they were like brothers. They were brothers. Not by blood, but through God, they were brothers. I have 3 blood sisters, and I don't see any of them, so that's what I mean. Sometimes friends and fellow Christians are closer as your brothers and sisters than your own blood ones are. So I'm going to go read John chapter 16, and then we'll come back to this. You need to make me another bookmark, because that's so cute. Got some ideas for a new one. Okay, John 16. All this I have told you, so that you will not go astray. They will put you out of the synagogue. In fact, a time is coming when anyone who kills you will think he is offering a sacrifice, a service to God. You know, if we kill this disciple, we're doing a service to God, because these people are on Satan's side. They always try to accuse Jesus, you know, of being on Satan's side. Just like Jesus told them, evil cannot do away with evil. That would be defeating their purpose. What was that for? You will think he will think he's offering a service to God. They will do such things because they have not known the Father or me. I have told you this, so that when the time comes, you will remember that I warned you. I did not tell you this at first, because I was with you. Now I am going to him who sent me. Yet none of you ask me, where are you going? Because I have said these things, you are filled with grief. But I tell you the truth. I tell you the truth, Jesus says. It is for your good that I am going away. Unless I go away, the Counselor will not come to you, the Holy Spirit. But if I go, I will send him to you. When he comes, he will convict the world of guilt in regard to sin and righteousness, and judgment in regard to sin, because men do not believe in me in regards to righteousness, because I am going to the Father, where you can see me no longer, because the prince of this world now stands condemned. I have much more to say to you, more than you can now bear. But when he, the Spirit of truth, the Holy Spirit, comes, he will guide you into all truth. He will not speak on his own. He will speak only what he hears, and he will tell you what is yet to come. He will bring glory to me by taking from what is mine and making it known to you. All that belongs to the Father is mine. That is why I said the Spirit will take from what is mine and make it known to you. In a little while you will see me no more, and then after a while you will see me. Some of his disciples said to one another, what does he mean by saying, in a little while you will see me no more, and then after a little while you will see me? And they were really confused. They didn't understand what Jesus meant when he tells them these things. Because I am going to the Father. They kept asking, what does he mean by a little while? We don't understand what he is saying. Jesus saw that they wanted to ask him about this. So he said to them, are you asking one another what I meant when I said, in a little while you will see me no more, and then after a little while you will see me? I tell you the truth, you will weep and mourn while the world rejoices. Yes, will grief, but your grief will turn to joy. A woman giving birth to a child has pain because her time has come, but when her baby is born, she forgets the anguish because of her joy that a child is born into the world. So with you, now is your time of grief, but I will see you again and you will rejoice, and no one will take away your joy. In that day you will no longer ask me anything. I tell you the truth, my Father will give you whatever you ask in my name. Until now, you have not asked for anything in my name. Ask, and you will receive, and your joy will be complete. Though I have been speaking figuratively, a time is coming when I will no longer use this kind of language, but will tell you plainly about my Father. In that day you will ask in my name. I am not saying that I will ask the Father on your behalf. No, the Father himself loves you because you have loved me and have believed that I came from God. I came from the Father and entered the world. Now I am leaving the world and going back to the Father. Then Jesus' disciples said, now you are speaking clearly and without figures of speech. Now we can understand that you know all things and that you do not even need to have anyone ask you questions. This makes us believe that you came from God. You believe at last, Jesus answered, but a time is coming and has come when you will be scattered each to his own home. You will leave me all alone, yet I am not alone, for my Father is with me. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. In this world you will have trouble, but take heart. I have overcome the world. Yes, he has. All right. Now we'll go back to the devotion. Okay. Let's see. Grace Fox says, My husband Gene and I spend 2 weeks in Poland every July for ministry. One year I received an invitation to speak at a retreat 2 weeks before our scheduled camp. Gene and I agreed that I should say yes. I would fly to Poland alone and he would join me closer to the camp date. I felt okay about flying on my own because I'd traveled that route before. However, after the retreat, I would have to take a 7-hour train ride from Warsaw to a small city where I'd stay with friends until he arrived. That part made me nervous. Personal experience had taught me that Eastern European train rides often become adventurous. Sometimes they arrive or leave from a different platform than expected. A loudspeaker usually announces scheduled changes, but they happen at the last minute and are hard to decipher because, especially for anyone who doesn't speak the language, what if I missed a connection? A dear friend tried to dissuade me from going alone. My emotions agreed, but in my heart I knew better. I knew enough to be cautious with my bags, safeguard my passport, and avoid sketchy situations. More important, I knew Jesus would be my constant companion. Several weeks later, I made the train journey. I was by myself, but not truly alone. Jesus, the best travel companion ever, was with me. And your homework from Grace. Find 2 small, identical objects, such as beads or stones, rocks, whatever. Place them by your sink or on your nightstand. Use them as a visual reminder that you are never alone. Jesus is with you. So like you and Jesus are one. He's your Lord, He's your brother, He's your best friend. Alright, now it is time to go to the animal devotion. Everybody pick an animal. Pick your animal.
Horse.
Sherman picks a horse. Alright. Bible verse, Psalm 5:11. But let all who take refuge in you be glad. Let them ever sing for joy. Spread your protection over them, that those who love your name may rejoice in you. And the title gives this animal away. I don't like when it does that. But the quote at the bottom by Hans Kuhn says, God's love does not protect us from suffering. God's love protects us in the midst of suffering. Because He's always with you, day and night. Never sleeps. Always with you. Alright, this devotion is by Linda S. Blair, and it is called Peacock Protection. So we got peacocks. I prayed about taking a trip to Mexico, but when it didn't pan out, disappointment prompted me to go walking. For me, this means going outside, praying, crying, and sometimes arguing with God. I trumped near my Western Oregon home, wondering why God's answer had been no. Just then, a party of peacocks strutted across my neighbor's yard. The males marched around, showing off their iridescent blue-green plumage, while the peahens, the girl peacocks, pecked for seeds and grubs. Compared to their partners, the girls were drab, clothed in dull gray-brown feathers, no wriggle headdress, or fanned-out eye spots tails with the gals. With each step, my mood sank deeper. Why, God? Had I not planned correctly for the trip? I wanted to understand, but once again He showed me the bevy of birds, now screeching in the middle of the road. I studied the group and recalled that I knew about peacocks. The real reason for the peahens lack of bling, it's all about safety. When incubating eggs, female pinfowl can't afford to attract attention, but their low profile was only because the flashy guys kept them safe, making noise and shaking their tail feathers. While the peacocks pranced, preened, and protected the pea mamas, safely hunted for their breakfast, I might have stayed in a funk for a long time, but 2 weeks later a news report caught my eye. A destructive tropical storm had severely damaged the area of Mexico I had planned to visit. See? That's why God said no. That's why God said no. I smiled thinking of those peacocks. Despite the males' self-centered displays and obnoxious calls, they are serious about protecting the females. I felt comforted knowing that God's protection is there for me too, just like it is you. And the males in the animal kingdom, you'd think, oh, that's a pretty one, that's a female. No, the females are always drab, it seems like, of all the like birds and all those animals like that, and the males are like really pretty. They're the ones that are real beautiful. So if you see one that's really, really pretty, that's a boy. Because that's the way it goes with birds and everyone. Alright, there's my picture. Like that? Yeah. Let's show everybody the picture. And we'll be done. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's Bible study. Here is, remember, don't pay attention to the date. I'm just going through the ones that I haven't done.
Gobble, gobble.
See them?
Yep.
Alright guys, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Let's bring those souls to Jesus, and God willing, we'll see you guys again tomorrow with another Bible study. Bye guys. God bless.